Morning all. Sorry for the shakes, but so there's been a couple of questions and a lot of fluff going on in my group, the Line 6 Midi Mad Scientist Club, about wireless MIDI, Bluetooth MIDI, etc. And I thought it would be a really good idea to try and clear that up. So this here is a Quicko unit. And how this works is you have both an inside and an outside. This with the light would be the outside. And this takes a very small amount of power. It's a Bluetooth low energy device. And that provides power to both sides of this. So what happens with MIDI, for those who don't know, is you always have an in and an out. Two paths. This transmitter receiver combines two paths. So one of these at one end, boom, boom. Let's hope I've got that in right. Transmits and receives. If you have a device that only transmits, you plug in just the outside, that will give it power. The inside can actually stick off, hanging in the air, and no big deal. It's still transmitting from here. So you can send no problem. To receive, if the outside isn't plugged in, it has to get power from somewhere, or nothing happens. So, what is the massive difference between these and the new CME ones which are coming out, which we're making a big deal out of? I mean, CME, awesome. The difference is, plug that down. What typically happens with Bluetooth MIDI is you're now talking about a host and slaves. So master and slave, host, client, whatever you want to call it. Somebody has to take charge and direct traffic, and somebody has to actually listen. That's how it works with USB, and that's how it works with all other MIDI things. And what you typically are doing to make this happen is, and why you will typically have problems if you're just starting out with MIDI, is you need to connect one device to the other virtually. So when I'm sending a signal from here, this is passing client into the host computer. The host computer is then directing signal from one side to the other. So it's kind of like a patch bay, the old style telephone things in this app, which is AudioBus 3. It's an easy one, but there's all kinds of different ones that do this. So if you have multiple controllers and links, and even say Helix or something like that, you can network them all together and it kind of forms a star, and you define what talks to what using an app. So the computer, be it this, a telephone, whatever, there needs to be a host that's doing all that. The CME, which are bigger than this by about that much and have a detachable in-out thing, that is now your host computer. So what happens is you plug this in, the CME one, and it comes up as a host, and it starts looking around for other slaves to command. If it doesn't find one, it switches off and goes back to being slave mode and awaits another one to come along and take over. So one host in the system. So this is the big deal about CME and why it's a major thing. If you want to go wireless between two systems, you need those. They also use Bluetooth 5, which means twice the speed, twice the range, super solid, super low latency. These are very good, these Quickos. And this will work. It will step down the Widi Master and will work. So you can have one master and all of your old ones are still good within a given distance, within a given speed. What happens when you're slinging a whole bunch of these together? Like one master and multiple slaves? We don't know yet. That's got to be tested, but in theory it should work. Otherwise, if you need 90 feet or 30 meters of space between one thing and another, and there are plenty of applications where I'm going to have to use this, if you're on stage and someone's running from one side to another, you could do that. You could put a nice little MIDI controller somewhere on stage, and they could be waltzing up and down, running up and down, doing their thing. Get to the other side, wow. Hit the MIDI controller, change presets, change lighting, sounds, whatever, from two different places distantly, and it will connect. Great things about radio are that there are caveats, of course, in that anytime you're dealing with anything in the 2.4 gigahertz range, which is maxed out with Wi-Fi, with all kinds of stuff, interference can happen. Be aware of that, but it's an amazing freedom. And there's a lot of stuff that hopefully will get done with this new gear, and hopefully it will get integrated into all kinds of new MIDI controllers and make everybody's life super yay. So that's it. Quick talk on the old wireless MIDI. Keep that in mind. If you have any confusion over this, or if you want help with this stuff, give us a buzz and we can, happily talk about it. This stuff, for me, has been a lifesaver in that all of my boards, the big major Helix back there, all of them with this gear will auto-configure and talk to one another. So I don't have to come back here and rethink about, oh my God, where's my MIDI network, or get the computer going, or if the computer fails, iPad, laptop, whatever, the host device fails, these things take over and do their thing. So this is a very good reason to go and investigate. Type in CME, go and see them. They're doing pre-orders now for stuff. I am not affiliated in any way, but I can tell you that would be groundbreaking, super cool, awesome stuff. Jump on the boat and get them, because wow, they're really cool. See ya.